What's going on, moviegoers? Some interesting news dropped today about a certain franchise possibly be getting a reboot. Now, LeBron James is reportedly in talks to produce Friday the 13th, a reboot. Now, this is just, I don't know what to really think about this. I mean, it makes sense for a Friday the 13th reboot. Since Halloween's come out and it's been a huge success at the box office, and me personally absolutely loving the film, this makes sense for a, the slasher genre to come back in a big way. You know what I mean? Because slasher films, they have been dead for quite some time. I mean, nobody's scared with a guy with a knife anymore until Halloween came out. I kid you guys not. I legit couldn't sleep the first night. I kept hearing shit. I kept looking at my closet. I was like, oh my God, is Michael in there? Please don't let him be in there. But it's just, it was a great movie all around. But this is interesting to me. I like Friday the 13th. Not all of the films are great. I feel like the character Jason Voorhees is a unique storyline behind it. And with the right script, and I emphasize this, with the right script, I feel like a reboot of the franchise could go in a good direction. With a right script. Please, with a right script. But as far as like LeBron James producing it, I mean, I guess he's a big fan of the franchise, right? I guess he enjoys horror films, and he must have liked the 2009 reboot Friday the 13th. And ever since his big move from Cleveland to LA, he's not only a basketball man, but he's a businessman as well. Set to produce the new Space Jam film as well, and star in it. This comes as no surprise with me. I mean, he's a brilliant businessman, and dabbling into film is pretty fucking smart. And you're LeBron James. You're damn near the most popular person in LA right now, to go along with the Lakers. But this is tricky. I did read about some legal rights with the franchise, and that could be settled by Halloween the 31st. So if they can, the reason being, they announced this today, or, leaks or reports of LeBron James producing this film, is that they plan on having, all the legal matters finalized by Halloween. So it's going to be interesting, man. I don't really know. I enjoyed the remake of 2009. I did. I thought that was a good movie, especially for a remake for Friday the 13th. I forgot the guy who plays him. But I enjoyed his performance much more than Kane Hodder. I think that's who you say his name. He's like the original Jason Voorhees, who like really emphasized the heavy breathing of the character and stuff like that. And actually did the motion capture for the video game on PS4. Pretty cool. I saw the behind the scenes of how they made the game. I was like, okay, that's pretty dope. I like that. It's really authentic. But man, like I said, I don't know. The Halloween franchise I absolutely love. And, with Halloween coming out and doing such a great job, it has potential that these old school slasher, horror films can suddenly make a comeback. Possibly a Nightmare on Elm Street, or even a Scream. I know they're doing that shitty, terrible TV show for Scream, Ghostface, you guys. It's just absolutely bad. Don't ever watch it. But with Friday the 13th, I don't know. It's a tricky situation. My favorite Friday the 13th was probably, I want to say, probably the fourth one. Is it the fourth one? Yeah, the final chapter. The final chapter is probably my favorite one out of the entire franchise. I recently rewatched all of them, and I just, some of these are just so fucking terrible. Terrible. And I honestly think the first Friday the 13th is kind of overrated, Jason didn't show up to the sequel, and that's when it really got good. But I guess for the time being, being for like the 70s when the movies came out, it was terrifying to the audience. But like trying to rewatch it now, personally to me, I just feel like it doesn't hold up. I was bored out of my mind. I was like, oh my God, this is just so terrible. But like I said, with the right script, with the right, producing team, with the right actors and actresses, with the right film crew behind a potential reboot for the franchise, I feel like they can do it good. They can do it. Actually, I've even talked to my brother, and him and his roommate actually have some ideas about a script or something like that. and he was telling me about it. I'm not gonna tell you guys because I wanted to spoil out. But I was like, yeah, I like the direction. That can, be smart. There was even talks about a Friday the 13th like earlier in the year about, Jason's dad being in the picture and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, that could be a different route you take. Instead of doing Mrs. Voorhees, you do Mr. Voorhees. You know what I mean? That could be a potential thing. I don't know. It's still, the whole mythology of Jason Voorhees is kind of confusing and weird. How did he come back to life from the river? Is like he's a zombie. It's just kind of weird to me. My love for Halloween is greatly Michael Myers. And Friday the 13th, I enjoy the franchise. I'm just not like madly in love with the franchise. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's some films I really enjoy, and some films I absolutely fucking hate. But I'm curious about this, you guys. I'm curious to see what direction they go with this potential reboot of Friday the 13th. And I want it to be good. I really do, And if LeBron James is producing it, I'm not going to knock the guy. He's hustling, you know what I mean? What does LeBron James know about film? I don't know what he knows about film. But if you're a huge fan, and it could do a great justice for the fan service. Like Halloween 2018 with Danny McBride and David Gordon Green. That was a fan-made film. That was service to the fans. That was a passionate film that they made. You know what I mean? Paying homage to majority of the films and really putting time and effort into the movie. I hope to see something like that with Friday the 13th. But push your comments down below, you guys. Let me know what you guys think about a Friday the 13th reboot coming our way. Let me know what you guys think about LeBron James potentially producing the film. Push your comments down below, you guys. And thank you for taking time out of your day to our Zero Productions. Peace.